My journey with love started like many others, in the busy hallways of high school. It was a time of so much excitement and so many firsts. I remember my first boyfriend, Mark. He was the star player of the basketball team, and I felt so lucky. Our relationship was all about holding hands, sharing secrets, and cute little notes. But we were young, and we wanted different things. I wanted to talk about our future, while he was focused on his games and his friends. The breakup was simple, but it was my first real heartbreak. It felt like a big deal, like a part of my world had suddenly disappeared. It was a quiet sadness that I carried with me for a long time. After Mark, there was Leo. He was the complete opposite. He was artistic, he wrote poems, and he made me feel like I was the only girl in the world. Our love felt so deep, so real. We would spend hours just talking about everything and nothing. I thought he was the one, but his love was too much, too fast. He became very jealous and wanted all of my time. It started to feel suffocating, like I couldn't breathe. I had to end it, and that was so hard. The guilt was heavy. I wondered if I made a mistake, if I gave up on a love that was just too intense for me to understand at that age. Each heartbreak taught me something new. With Mark, I learned that attraction isn't enough to build a relationship. You need to be on the same page, to want the same things. With Leo, I learned that love shouldn't feel like a cage. It should give you freedom, not take it away. These lessons were painful, like growing pains for the heart. I would cry in my room listening to sad songs and wonder if I would ever get it right. It was a cycle of falling in love, feeling so happy and then crashing down when it ended. It was confusing and very, very tiring. Looking back, high school was my training ground for love. It was a place of innocence and big emotions. I didn't know who I was yet, and I was trying to find myself in the eyes of someone else. Each breakup chipped away at me, but it also forced me to look inward. I learned that my happiness couldn't depend on having a boyfriend. It was a tough lesson to learn, especially when everyone around you seems to be in a happy relationship. But it was the first step in a very long journey of understanding my own heart and what it truly needed. When I entered college, I thought I was a grown-up. I thought I knew better. I promised myself I would be smarter with my heart this time. Then I met Alex. He was in my literature class, and he was so smart and funny. Our connection was instant. We talked for hours, not just about school but about our dreams and our fears. It felt different from high school. It felt more mature, more real. We decided to be exclusive, to be in a monogamous relationship. And for a while, it was perfect. He was my study partner, my best friend and my boyfriend all in one. But college is a time of change, and we both started to change. I joined new clubs and made new friends, and he got very focused on his plans for law school. We started to drift apart slowly. The long talks became short texts. The weekly dates became a rare thing. The breakup wasn't loud or dramatic. It was a slow, painful fade. We just sat down one day and admitted that we were on different paths. The sadness was deep because it felt like we failed at adult love. It wasn't about a silly fight, it was about our lives moving in opposite directions. After Alex, I was lost. I didn't want to be alone, so I jumped into another relationship too quickly. His name was Ben, and he was fun and exciting. He made me forget the sadness I felt over Alex. But it was a rebound. I was using him to fill a void, and that wasn't fair to him or to me. I was just going through the motions, pretending to feel something I didn't. The relationship was empty, and it ended toxic. He called me confused, and he was right. I was very, very confused. I didn't know what I wanted anymore. This period of my life was filled with so much confusion. I was trying to balance my studies, my social life, and my search for love. I kept making mistakes. I would fall for people who were not right for me, hoping I could change them or that they could fix me. I learned that heartbreak in college feels different. It's mixed with the stress of exams and the pressure of figuring out your future. It's a heavy weight to carry when you are also trying to find your place in the world. I felt like I was failing at love and at life. As I got older, the rules of love seemed to get more complicated. I met someone who didn't believe in monogamy. He told me that love shouldn't be limited to just one person. At first I was scared of the idea. All I had ever known was one-on-one relationships. But I was also curious. Was I being old-fashioned? Was there another way to love that I didn't understand? He was in a polygamous relationship, meaning he had multiple partners, and they all knew about each other. He invited me to be part of it, to explore this different kind of love. I tried, I really did. I tried to be open-minded and to accept that he could care for me and for others at the same time. But my heart was not built for it. I felt a constant sting of jealousy. I would see him with his other partners and feel my heart sink. I was always comparing myself to them, wondering if he liked them more. It was emotionally exhausting. I was trying to be someone I wasn't, just to keep him in my life. It was a painful lesson that open relationships are not for everyone. It requires a level of emotional security that I just did not have at the time. The experience left me feeling more broken than any other breakup. It wasn't just a heartbreak, it was a crisis of identity. I questioned my own values and what I truly wanted from a partner. The mental toll was huge. I couldn't focus on my studies. I felt anxious all the time. This is when I understood that heartbreak is not just an emotional pain. It can affect your mind too. It can make you doubt everything you thought you knew about yourself. I had to walk away, not because he was a bad person, but because the situation was bad for my soul. This messy middle part of my journey taught me the importance of boundaries. It's okay to explore and to be curious, but it's also okay to say no to things that don't feel right for you. I learned that you can't force your heart to accept something that goes against its nature. Trying to fit into polygamy when I was naturally monogamous was like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It just caused more damage. I realized that true love for me needed to feel safe and secure, and that was something I could no longer compromise on. After all the exes, the tears, and the confusion, I finally decided to stop. I stopped looking for love in other people and started looking for it within myself. I realized a very important thing. I didn't really know who I was. I had spent so many years defining myself through my relationships. I was Mark's girlfriend, then Leo's, then Alex's. I had lost my own identity along the way. So I took a break from dating. A long break. It was scary at first. The silence was, honestly, a little bit frightening, but slowly, I started to enjoy my own company. I started doing things just for me. I joined a hiking club, I started painting again, and I focused on my friendships. I traveled alone for the first time. I learned how to be happy on my own. This period of self-discovery was the most important relationship I had ever had. It was a relationship with myself. I learned what makes me laugh, what makes me angry, and what my non-negotiables are in life and in love. I was no longer a half waiting for someone to make me whole. I was already whole, all by myself. The biggest lesson from all my heartbreaks is this: you cannot build a healthy relationship with someone else until you have a healthy relationship with yourself. Self-love is not selfish, it is necessary. It is the foundation upon which all other loves are built. When you know your worth, you won't settle for people who don't treat you right. You will recognize red flags earlier. You won't be afraid to walk away from situations that harm your peace of mind. You will know that being alone is so much better than being in the wrong company. Now, as I look toward the future, I am not afraid of love, but I approach it differently. I know what I bring to the table, and I know what I need in a partner. My advice to anyone going through heartbreak is to be patient with yourself. It's okay to be messy and to make mistakes. That's how you learn. But don't forget to come back to yourself. Know who you are, what you stand for, and what you deserve. Because the greatest love story you will ever tell is the one you have with yourself. And that is a love that will never leave you.